He was a tough nut, Gene Hackman, but he was really good. And he was really difficult. We can say it now, but he was a tough.
Bill Murray kept quiet for decades, but at 75 years old, he finally broke his silence about Gene Hackman, and what he revealed shocked Hollywood. Two legends, completely different styles, yet bound by the same truth. Why did Murray wait so long to speak? And what did Hackman do that left Murray in absolute awe? Today, we uncover the story Bill Murray never told. Until now, Bill Murray has always been the unpredictable one, the comic genius who could walk away from fame, disappear for years, and then reappear in the most unexpected ways. But what few people knew, until now, is how much he admired Gene Hackman, the intense, no-nonsense actor who left Hollywood on his own terms. This isn't just about admiration, it's about two men who lived by their own rules, and what Murray revealed late in life that left fans stunned. But before we get to Murray's words about Hackman, you need to know the journey that shaped him, because without it, his comments wouldn't carry the same weight. Want to support our channel? Join the Echo Insider. Just hover over the Echo Insider icon, click and watch new videos before anyone else. Bill Murray's story didn't start with red carpets, laughter, or fame. It started with tragedy, chaos, and survival. Born into a cramped house in Illinois, Murray was just one of 9 kids fighting for space, attention, and dinner on the table. His father, a lumber salesman, struggled to keep the family afloat, and when Bill was only 17, everything collapsed. His father died suddenly from complications of diabetes. That kind of loss could destroy a teenager. But for Murray, it created something far stranger. Instead of crying his way through grief, Bill built up a defense mechanism of razor-sharp wit and sarcasm. He joked through the pain, he laughed at the chaos. He attacked life with humor, because if he didn't, the weight of tragedy would crush him. But Murray wasn't some golden child destined for Hollywood. In fact, he dreamed of being a doctor. He actually enrolled in Regis University, hoping to become the first in his family to make it into medicine. But college didn't last. He was restless, distracted, and completely uninterested in lectures. He dropped out, confused and lost, drifting without a plan. And then came the scandal. In 1970, Bill Murray was caught at Chicago's O'Hare Airport with 10 pounds of marijuana. Yes, 10! That wasn't a slap-on-the-wrist offense. It could have put him behind bars, permanently destroying his future before it even began. Imagine. Bill Murray, the legend of Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day, almost erased from history before his career started. That moment could have been the end, but instead, it was the turning point, breaking into comedy and Saturday Night Live. After the arrest, Murray had 2 choices: spiral out of control or transform his chaos into something bigger. And thanks to his older brother, Brian Doyle Murray, the door opened. Brian pushed Bill into comedy, dragging him into Chicago's legendary Second City, the breeding ground for improv legends. There, Bill learned something shocking. His messy, unpredictable personality, the very thing that made school and normal life impossible, was pure dynamite on stage. He wasn't polished, he wasn't safe. He was unpredictable, dangerous, and absolutely hilarious. But it wasn't smooth sailing. At first, audiences didn't get him. He was awkward, abrasive, sometimes bombing so badly that even he admitted it. But Bill had a weapon most comedians didn't: fearlessness. He didn't care if people hated him, because he had already lived through worse. Soon, he caught the attention of the National Lampoon Radio Hour, working shoulder to shoulder with soon-to-be legends like John Belushi and Gilda Radner. In those smoky radio studios, surrounded by chaos and brilliance, Murray sharpened his comedy like a knife, and then came his shot at the big leagues, Saturday Night Live. In 1977, Murray replaced Chevy Chase, one of the show's breakout stars. At first, it was a disaster. He flopped so hard that he literally went on air, looked at America and said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm not funny." But here's the thing. That apology wasn't the end. It was the beginning of Bill Murray's rise. Week after week, he clawed his way back, developing characters, delivering lines with a deadpan bite that no one else had. Slowly, the audience flipped, from booing him to loving him. By the end of his run, Murray wasn't just surviving, he was dominating. And he wasn't just another comic. He was the guy who could bomb on live TV, laugh about it, and still come out stronger. That kind of resilience set the stage for everything that came next. By the late 1970s, Bill Murray wasn't just another comedian anymore. He was a rising storm, and Hollywood had no idea what was about to hit them. His first big break, Meatballs, 1979. No one expected much from this low-budget summer camp comedy, but it exploded at the box office. Audiences didn't just laugh, they saw something new. Bill wasn't polished, he wasn't clean-cut, he wasn't Hollywood. He was raw, sarcastic, and brutally real. Then came Caddyshack, 1980. Murray wasn't even supposed to be a main character. His role as Carl Spackler, the bizarre, mumbling groundskeeper, was tiny on paper. But Bill hijacked the film. He improvised almost every scene, including the now legendary Cinderella story monologue about hacking away at flowers with a golf club. It wasn't in the script. Murray just invented it. And somehow it became one of the most iconic moments in comedy history. By Stripes, 1981, audiences were hooked. Bill was no longer the weird new guy, he was the guy. He played the lovable slacker who turns into an unlikely hero, and the movie crushed at the box office. But then came the knockout punch, Ghostbusters, 1984. This wasn't just another movie, it was a cultural earthquake. Murray's role as Dr. Peter Venkman turned him into a global phenomenon. His sarcasm, his timing, his effortless cool, it was everything audiences didn't know they craved. Kids wanted to be him, adults quoted his lines, and Hollywood realized Murray wasn't just a comedian, he was a force of nature. But here's the twist. While the world was laughing, Murray wasn't satisfied. Deep down, he hated the idea of being boxed in as just a funny guy. He wanted something riskier, something real, and that's when he shocked everyone with the boldest move of his career. In 1984, at the very peak of his fame, when any other actor would have been cashing checks and milking sequels, Bill Murray did the unthinkable. He walked away from comedy. Instead of riding the Ghostbusters wave, he demanded to make a serious film, The Razor's Edge, an adaptation of a classic novel by W. Somerset Maugham. It was a role about war, trauma, and the search for meaning. Miles away from zany comedies and sarcastic one-liners. Murray wasn't just risking money, he was risking his entire reputation. And Hollywood didn't forgive him. The Razor's Edge tanked. Hard. Critics slammed it, audiences ignored it, and suddenly the golden boy of comedy looked like he had flown too close to the sun. For a moment it seemed like Bill Murray had ruined everything. But instead of crawling back to Hollywood, Murray disappeared. Literally. He packed his bags and left the spotlight behind. While everyone else in Hollywood was scrambling for their next role, Murray was in Paris, living in Europe, taking college classes, wandering the streets like a ghost no one expected to see again. This wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a breakdown, a retreat, a way of saying, if you only want me to tell jokes, maybe you don't deserve me at all. When he finally returned years later, something had changed. He wasn't just Bill Murray the comedian anymore. He had become darker, sharper, deeper. And when he came back to film in the early 90s, audiences saw it instantly. His redemption came with Groundhog Day, 1993. A comedy, yes, but one that cut deep. Playing a cynical weatherman trapped in an endless time loop, Murray turned a silly premise into something philosophical, almost spiritual. It wasn't just about laughs anymore, it was about life, meaning, redemption. Audiences laughed, but they also thought. Critics hailed it as a masterpiece. Bill Murray had done it. He had walked away from Hollywood, risked everything, and somehow come back stronger. When Bill Murray came back from his self-imposed exile in Europe, he wasn't the same guy who cracked one-liners in Ghostbusters. He was darker, smarter, more unpredictable, and he was about to reinvent himself in a way nobody saw coming. In 1998, director Wes Anderson took a chance on him in Rushmore. Murray played a disillusioned industrialist, a man weighed down by failure and sadness, and the critics went wild. Suddenly, Bill Murray wasn't just the funny guy. He was an actor with depth, pain, and gravitas. Audiences couldn't believe it. This was the same man who once played a lunatic groundskeeper in Caddyshack, now delivering one of the most heartbreaking performances of the decade. But that was just the beginning. Murray became Anderson's secret weapon, showing up in film after film, The Royal Tenenbaums, The Life Aquatic, Moonrise Kingdom, The Grand Budapest Hotel. In every role, he brought a kind of quiet, broken charm, characters who were flawed, melancholic, but somehow magnetic. Then came the performance that changed everything, Lost in Translation, 2003. Playing Bob Harris, an aging, washed-up actor wandering aimlessly through Tokyo, Murray delivered something audiences had never seen from him before. Raw vulnerability, no gags, no mugging for the camera, just pure, aching honesty. The film earned him an Academy Award nomination. For many, it should have been his win. And even though he didn't take home the Oscar, something more important happened. Bill Murray had cemented himself as a legend who could do it all. Comedy, drama, tragedy. He wasn't just a clown, he was a philosopher hiding behind a smirk. And just when everyone thought they had him figured out, he shocked them again by disappearing, refusing agents, and living his career on his own terms. If a director wanted Murray in their movie, they had to call a secret 1-800 number and leave a voicemail. That was it. No manager, no handlers, no Hollywood rules. If Bill felt like calling you back, maybe he did. If not, forget it. It was chaotic, it was reckless, and it made him even more legendary. Two legends, two different worlds, but the same unshakable pursuit of authenticity. Bill Murray didn't just reveal what he thought of Gene Hackman, he revealed what it really means to endure in Hollywood without losing your soul. If you enjoyed this story, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It really makes us smile. And if you're hungry for more fascinating tales, check out the 2 videos right below. You might just discover your next favorite story.